Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back to my channel. It is your girl City DJ and I am back with another video. When you guys see me sitting in this corner, y'all know I'm coming back with another story time. But before we go ahead and jump right into this video, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Also turn on your post notification bell so that you never miss an upload from me. So guys, as you can see by the title, I'm going to be doing one of my worst sex experiences ever. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into the video. Y'all, so like I said in the intro, I'm basically going to be talking about one of my worst sex experiences ever. So let's go ahead and jump right into the story time. So we're just going to call Buddy Shane. So I met Shane off Instagram a couple of months ago and we were talking for a very long time, and a very long time before we actually met. So the reason why I felt so comfortable meeting with him or whatever and even doing the do was because we had great chemistry. Like, I felt like we could talk about anything. I felt like the conversations were never dead. Like, it just kept going and going. And anybody who knows me knows I'm a sucker for conversation. Like, listen, if you can hold a conversation, you got me. And if you're funny, you got me. So that's what happened with him. So prior to me actually meeting Shane, it was conversations that we had where, you know, he was hyping himself up and saying that, you know, he a beast in the bedroom and he, you know, he know what to do, and me being a low-key freak that I am, I was interested because it's just like, why not? Like, I was very much interested. So I'm hyping him up too because I'm like, okay, shit, he probably, you know, doing, you know, he probably giving what he said he give it. And mind y'all, we, you know, he did go ahead and send me a picture and, you know, he was packing. The dick was there, okay? The dick was there. So I'm like, shit, okay, sis, you know, I'm not saying, I already, you know, I done had experiences where, you know, let me go ahead and continue. We gonna get into that. So, you know, he sent me the picture or whatever, and I'm like, okay, you know, he packing, and being the low-key freak that I am, I'm fucking with it. So I'm like, okay. So we planned a day to, you know, do the do, and we had to plan it that way because we both worked, but he worked a lot more than me, and he was in school. At that time, I wasn't in school, so it was kind of a lot more easier for me to find the time. So I'm like, all right, cool. So we planned it to do the do on a Friday, and he was gonna come get me, and I was gonna go to his house. All right, cool. So the day comes, and y'all, he is not missing texting me. Like, he is up before me, texting me like, are you, like, I'm so ready, like, are you ready, blah 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 blah. But I'm like, hold on now, that's kind of like a red flag because you seem a little too excited. Like, you ain't even had no pussy before. Like, why are you so excited? But I'm thinking like, okay, maybe he just, you know, being cute or whatever. So I'm like, all right. So then fast forward, he goes to work, I go to work. So I want to say it's maybe around 7 o'clock, and he texted me. He's like, okay, I'm gonna come get you around 8. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I get dressed. You know, like when we go do the do, you know, we do everything. We shave, you know, we make sure we wash down there smelling like water. We make sure, like, you know, we make sure our hygiene is up to par because, you know, we gonna either be in a hot room, you know. Sex honestly is like, I want to say, it's like exercise. So, you know, shit gets steamy, get hot, it gets sweaty, and you don't want the room smelling like pussy. If you don't know what that is, that's ass, dick, and pussy. So therefore, I'm like, I gotta smell good. I don't know about you. All right, so he comes to get me. He actually comes right on time. That's how I knew the nigga wanted some pussy. Like, I mean, how can you blame him? But anyways, so I get in the car and we, you know, we hold a conversation and everything's good. And want to say that he maybe stayed 15 minutes away from me, so he was not far at all. So we got to his house and we didn't get to it right away because with me, I feel like when you jump into sex like right away, if y'all haven't already been out, it's kind of weird because the sex never comes out to how you expected it to be, if that makes sense. So I'm like, yeah, nah, we wasn't doing it. So, and he agreed. Like, we didn't even have to talk. We agreed silently, like, okay, we're not gonna sit up here and just rush into it. So he puts on a movie, he orders food, we're talking, you know, we're eating, and you know, he was like, oh, do you want something to drink? And when I say something to drink, I don't mean like juice. I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about liquor, y'all. So I'm like, yeah, like what you got to drink? So, you know, he pulls out the Hennessy, he pulls out the Syrah, he pulls out the Patron, he pulls out, you know, most of my favorites. I don't really fuck with Hennessy, but you know, I fuck with Patron. And if you don't know, Patron make you shown. So I was like, cool. So I was like, nah, I have some Patron. And one thing about me is I don't chase my drinks. I don't chase them because I need to get straight to the point. Drunk. So therefore, I'm not gonna chase them. So, and sometimes depending if I'm attracted to the person, like very attracted to the person, oh baby, it's time to fuck. So that's exactly how that went. So after he gave me the Patron and I drunk it, I want to say it kicked in not even, it, you know how sometimes it kind of sneaks upon you. With me, it didn't do that. It kind of kicked in like right away. So I want to say it kicked in within like 5 minutes, and I was already feeling it. And he was on Henny. So, you know, Henny, he on demon time, period. So, you know, I'm ready. He ready. Now let's go. So we are, you know, we in the living room, and he was like, let's take it to the bedroom. So I'm like, all right, cool. So we take it to the bedroom, and I'm, you know, we get in the bed, and you know, we just want to just like, I don't know if it's just me, but in certain situations, like, it's kind of awkward to just push each other on the bed, or like, you know, rip each other clothes off. Like, I always wanted to do that, by the way, but you know, most black men are not into stuff like that I've came across. So maybe a white man, you just never know. So so we basically laid in bed, and you know, he took my clothes off, you know, I took his clothes off, and we're laying there, and you know, we get to kissing and, you know, touching, and then I'm like, ooh, this nigga for the give me that dick. That nigga for the give me that dick. So I'm like, I'm excited. So, you know, sis is, she could sense the excitement because it was giving waterfall. It was giving ocean. So I'm like, sis knew. So, you know, he gets on top or whatever. And no, he didn't get on top. I got on top first or whatever. And I'm like, so as he's trying to push it in or whatever, he being so rough. So I'm like, buddy, calm down. Like, you got a horse, and this is the last tunnel. Now, no, like, this not a big ass tunnel. So he's like, all right, I got you. So then I'm realizing, y'all, that he can't find the hole. And I know my shit ain't that small where you cannot find it. I know it's not. Like, I know it's not. So he can't find it. So I'm like, all right, maybe, you know, since he drunk or whatever, let me help him. So I help him, and like, he just forces the shit in. So I'm like, well, damn, like, fucking, like, damn, slow down. So that was already red flag 1. That was, I think that's 2. So I'm like, all right. And I'm like, yeah, this ain't it. Like, this whole riding shit is not it. Because us women, 2 minutes max, and we get the fuck up off. So that's what happened. I got the fuck up off of him. And then now it was his turn to get on top. Y'all, can I just tell y'all that this man was like short stroking me? Like, if you know what short stroking is, I'm gonna show y'all, like, with a picture. I'm gonna show y'all exactly what it looks like. So, mind you, he's not even inside. So he's short stroking my thigh, not even my hole. So I'm like, whoa, like, I'm telling him, like, you do know you're fucking my thigh, not my, you know, my hole. He's like, oh shit, my bad. Like, I thought that was in. So I'm like, see, that's your problem. You're moving too fast. And then he finally puts it in, and he's still short stroking. So I'm like, what the fuck? Like, baby, you talking all this good shit over text message and over the phone, but you ain't performing how you supposed to. So now my favorite position is from the back. So I'm like, all right, now it's time to get it for the back. So I'm like, okay, it's time to throw that ass back. and let him do what he do. Y'all think this man did what he was supposed to do? Y'all, for as big as his dick is, I didn't feel shit. I didn't feel shit. So I'm like, so I asked him, I'm like, so I'm like, you do know I don't feel shit. Like, and I asked him, I said, so wait, are you, like, is this your first time fucking? Because that's what it's giving. He said, nah, like, I haven't really had that much experience. Okay. Alright. Okay. So I'm like, okay, maybe we can, you know, being that, you know, he has the size that he has, I'm like, alright, you know, maybe we can just work around it. You know, maybe he knows something. So I'm like, alright, let me just go ahead and make him lead. Because at that point, I was leading. I wanted the certain positions and the situations and blase, whatever was going on. I wanted it. So I was like, you know, let me let him do his thing. Y'all, this man was putting me in all type of situations and positions and all type of shit I don't need to be in. I'm not saying big girls can be flexible, but I am not that type of big girl. I am not flexible. So therefore, you're not going to be having one leg on top of the fucking, what's that shit called, headboard, and then one fucking leg. I just want y'all to picture how this man had me. So one leg on top of the headboard, the other leg on the bed. Like, that shit was so awkward and so uncomfortable. I was like, yeah, I can tell you new to this shit. Y'all, half of the time, the whole time me and this man was trying to have sex, because we didn't have sex, I don't know what the fuck that was, he fucked my thigh most of it. Like, I don't understand. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? And then you were a short stroker. So not only was you fucking my thigh, you was a short stroker. So I'm like, yeah, it's not giving what it's supposed to give. Like, and then mind you, a low key, he kind of stank too. But I didn't smell that till after the fact. After it was all said and done, because at that point I already had told him to get the fuck up off me. Like, it was done, get the fuck up off me. So I told him, so after we tried to do what we did, I sat down, I told him, I said, like, you, like, why you made it seem like you was going to be giving this type of energy, but you gave me, like, you ain't have no type of, like, you didn't have no dick type of energy. So he was like, you know, this is, like, I never really had real sex. I was just a virgin maybe 2 months ago. You could have told me that. It's nothing, I don't see nothing wrong with a nigga being a virgin, but me personally, I'm not gonna deal with a nigga that's a virgin, because I expect you to know what the fuck to do. Like, me, there's some girls that have patience with that. Me, I don't. So therefore, I'm not gonna deal with that. So it's just so crazy to me, because I'm like, damn. So you know what I did? I told his ass, you know what? All right, it's time for me to go. So at this point, I'm so aggravated. The liquor is gone out of my system. Like, I'm sober as fuck. I'm irritated as fuck. And I'm like, I'm ready to go home. So I tell him, like, you know what? Like, you cool and all, but we just gonna keep this shit as friends. Because as far as, like, sexual, that's out the window. So I go ahead and get dressed. He go ahead and get dressed. And you know, I'm so aggravated with him, and usually we would talk, like, even because I'm pretty sure, like, even if you're not with somebody, you do sometimes argue with that person, and then, you know, you guys are able to fix it. But on the ride home, it was so silent, it was so awkward. He knew he fucked up, he knew I was aggravated, he knew I was ready to go the fuck home. So home, didn't say shit, y'all. I just got out of the car, slammed the door, and walked in the house, and I blocked him. I did block him. And he reached out to me from a text-free app or whatever. He was like, damn, why I blocked him, blase, blase. I told him why I blocked him. I said, I cannot, that is not gonna work for me. You was cool, but that was that. And don't get me wrong, like, maybe I want to say like a year later, because we did end up stop talking, and then a year later we reconnected, and I was telling him, like, you know, we could be friends or whatever. So we were able to be friends, you know, cool. Like, he hit me up from time to time, and we cool or whatever. So I want to say, like, he's a good friend, but as far as sexually, baby, you're not giving what it's supposed to give. So y'all, that is the ending of this story time. If y'all want to hear more story times from me, make sure you guys comment down below. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Also turn your post notification bell so you can be updated for when I do post. And y'all, I want to thank you guys so much for rocking with your girl. Your girl is almost at 600 subscribers. By the time you guys see this video, I actually might have already been at 600 subscribers. So I'm so excited. So that means I am 400 subscribers away from being monetized. Your girl is getting to the bag. And yes, I'm gonna always try to upload as much as possible. Your girl been consistent, and I'm trying to keep it that way for the rest of the year. So yes, y'all, until next time,